Hey, everybody. Hello. Okay, we are live and in living color. I'm so happy to be back with you guys. All right, so you know how we have to do this. We need to give people some time to get in the room. All right. And so let me play my introduction and we'll be back in about 30 seconds. Hey, everybody. I am excited about today's topic. We are talking about how to make money in the United States. Listen, this is the only way to make money in the United States. You hear me? So, I actually made some notes. And if you saw, I actually did a TikTok that went a little crazy, not a lot crazy, but just a little crazy on this very topic right here. And I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and do a YouTube video on this to kind of go a little bit more in depth about how to make money in the United States. The only way to make money, these are the top 4 ways that you can make money, okay? So let's just jump right into it. The first way, and if you want to, go ahead and make comments or what have you, by all means, you can be free with that, okay? Because I will stop answering any questions that you have. You don't have to wait till the end. Let's just jump right into it. So the first way that you can make money in the United States is, drum roll please, blah, 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 of course, being an employee, okay? Well, we know that many people are an employee. You work for somebody, okay? And so if you're in that employee category, let's just talk about some of the pros and the cons. The best way I can do this for you is I just need to talk about some situations that happened with me, all right? When I was an employee, when I was working for someone. First of all, when I would drive up, for those that know, I was a teacher. And I'm just going to be honest with you. I mean, I used to love teaching. I mean, I really did. I love my job. I love the students. I love coming to work, but it was the administration that I hated. And I'm telling you, because they were so ruthless, and they ruled with an iron hand. And sometimes it would be a principal. It wouldn't be him. It would be people in the downtown office that was wreaking, just giving you hell. And so it made me start to have a dislike for teaching. And it was this one scenario where I didn't like the principal, didn't like the school. I just didn't like anything about what was going on. I mean, nothing whatsoever. And when I would drive up to the school, I literally, this is no lie, you guys, I feel like my eyelashes acting crazy. But when I would drive up to the school, I would literally get pains in my stomach. I mean, like literally pains in my stomach. I mean, it would just happen automatically. And it's like my body was sensing, I do not want to be here. I don't want to be a part of this. I don't want to, be a part of anything that's going on right now with this scenario that I'm in. And it was at that time that I realized, I have to start doing something. I have to start making changes, because I just couldn't see me living the next 30 years of my life, because that's what retirement is before they set you free, like this. Now, let me just preface this. For those that are do have employment, and you are working for somebody, and if it's working for you, good. Okay? Stay right there. But for me, it didn't work out. I didn't like having to come in and punch a clock. I didn't have to come in as soon as I turned my computer on. They know when you signed in. I mean, I didn't know. I didn't like being told that we would have to be at a meeting this time and say it would be over at this time. And if they decided to hold us over, it was okay. I didn't like any of that. I just realized really early on with me this is just not going to work. This is not going to work because it was too much control. Now, some of the pros of being an employee, of course, you got health insurance, right? So you get the health insurance, you get paid vacations, right? So those are some pros of being an employee, but the cons for me outweighed the pros by a long shot. I mean, it totally outweighed it because I just simply was not. I mean, I was not happy. I wasn't happy with what was going on. I wasn't happy about just having somebody just controlling me like that. I didn't like those, pop-up evaluations and trying to catch me. And I didn't like any of that. Okay. So if you're in a situation right now where you were an employee and it literally makes you sick, to go to work, it literally makes you sick, to think now it's Sunday. And that's another thing. When Sunday would come, I would just cringe. I would literally just cringe because I was like, oh my God, I got to go back to that place tomorrow. And it would make me so just unhappy. I mean, I would just really just get unhappy. But again, everybody is different. But I'm talking to the people now who are in a scenario where you are an employee. I'm talking to the people now who are in a scenario where you're an employee and you are unhappy, okay? Where you want something else. You want to do something else, okay? You want to be able to have more control of your life. And so if that's the case, then that next level is you go from being an employee to now being self-employed. But there's some pros to that and there's some cons to that as well. Okay. So if you go from being an employee, whereas you're working for someone is dictating to you everything you should not do, and you want to move from being employed to self-employed, this is the biggest complaint I get from those who are self-employed. And there's a big difference between being a self-employed person and being a business owner. So do understand that there is a big difference. And we're going to talk about that in a second because business owner is actually the next level. But being self-employed, and this is where a lot of people get stuck because they begin to, open their business, hopefully legally. That's another thing I'm finding right now. A lot of self-employed people, their paperwork is so out of order. It's a mess. Okay. They haven't paid taxes. I did a little TikTok yesterday where I was playing around, but I was serious in a way when I said that, some people think just because they got an Instagram page and a website, that makes them a business owner. And no, it does not. Okay. Because you got to do your paperwork. You just got to get life in order. You got to get yourself in order. You got to pay your taxes. You got your stuff. Some people got their stuff all on, social media, broadcasting their business, and they're sitting there watching you. Okay. Like Cash App, starting to lock down on people, last year when they said they were going to start sending you the 1099s, because if you're an independent contractor, so you can file your taxes, they're going to keep cranking it up on you. So it's just best to just get your paperwork in order, you guys. Just get it in order because it's not worth it. I mean, do you know if you are, and I haven't got about a topic, but I want to talk about this because this is so important. If you're a business owner and you're not paying your taxes on your business, that is called tax evasion, okay? I am not an attorney. I'm not giving you legal advice, but I will tell you this much. If you have a business and your paperwork is not in order and you're not paying taxes, that is tax evasion. You can just Google that, okay? Tax evasion gets you in trouble, and it gets you in trouble. It's called federal time. You don't want to be bothered with that. So just get your paperwork in order. So if you're self-employed, okay, if you have your own business, what's the pro for that? A big pro is you control your own time. You control your own time. You are the boss. You say when you're going to get up. You say when you're going to go to sleep. I mean, you control everything, okay? But a con to that is you control everything, because it's a con too, because you control if your money is not at the place that you needed to be able to sustain yourself. So that might mean that you have to work longer hours. That's one of the biggest complaints I hear about people that are self-employed. They never have any free time because they are trying to do everything themselves. They can't afford to bring in somebody else to help them because 9 out of 10 times their paperwork is not in order for them to get business credit. Okay. And you want to use OPM, other people's money. That's why it's important, if you're self-employed, to get your paperwork in order so you can use other people's money, so you can hire people, so you can get your time back. Okay. But again, that's a way that you can make money in the United States. One, being an employee where you're working for somebody, or two, being self-employed where you work for yourself. But remember, you control everything. So if you're not responsible enough, if you're not really responsible enough to get your life in order and get yourself together, it's going to reflect if you're self-employed. And I'm like telling you, it's going to reflect big time, to the point that it could really hurt you. It could really hurt you if you just don't have your stuff together. Okay. The third one is a business owner. That's where you want to be. It's one more that you really want to get to. But if you're trying to get to a level, shoot for trying to be a business owner. So what's the difference between self-employed and a business owner? Well, if you're self-employed, remember, you're doing everything yourself. You're in control of everything yourself. But if you're a business owner, you're doing OPM and OPT. Well, Dr. Sherry, what is that? Let me answer it. Okay. OPM is using other people's money. So therefore, if you're a business owner, you have mastered how to get business credit. You already know how to get, using other people's money, using that EIN number to work for you. You use those extra resources to hire staff. So what does it mean when you can use those other resources to hire staff? Well, now you're using OPT, other people's time. Okay? You're using other people's time. Let me see. Can't post comments. Hold on a second, you guys. It's giving me a little message here. Okay. All right, so let me keep going. I'm sorry, I'm looking at StreamYard and it gave me a little message there, but that's okay. Let's keep moving. And if you do have a comment, just put it down there right in the chat, you guys, and I will see it. So you want to use other people's money and other people's time. When you can use other people's money, okay, business credit, when you can use other people's time, now you've trained people to work for you. Now you are a leader to the point that you can train people to keep your operation going. People ask me all the time. Right now, I'm at my office in Florida. They was like, how do people, it's so hard for them to understand how I can be in another state and my business is still moving in the other states so that I have businesses. They can't get it. And you know what? And I can't even expect them to get it. Because you have to be where I am, and your mind has to be where I am to really understand how to do it. That's why I'm trying to push more people to that level 3 and level 4 of being an investor and being a business owner, because then you'll understand how to train people, because it will free up your time. Okay, I'm here right now at my Florida office for real estate, but my businesses in Georgia are still running. The business that I'm starting in Dubai is still running. Okay. What I got going on in Alabama, it's still running. It's still operating. It's still, because it has a life of its own. And I have people in place to make it happen for me. So I don't have to physically be there. Just as long as I have a phone, as long as I have this, I'm good to go. This right here is my business. All of my businesses are right here in my phone. All of them. Right here in the phone. As long as I have this, I'm good. Now, if I don't have this, I'm gonna have to borrow somebody else's phone. Okay. But business is gonna go on. Business owner, that's where you want to be, because that now frees you to, first of all, you have your own time, right? You're free to do what you need to do, and you're leading from afar while your businesses are still making money for you. And that last one is investor. This is the one that you can't get there unless you are successful as an employee, being self-employed, or business owner. Why? Because you got to have money to invest. Now, if you are an investor, that's where you want to be, because you will make money even in your sleep, okay, as an investor. The biggest problem of being an investor is finding the right places to invest so your money works for you. So that's why you'll see that they'll, have whole life insurance policies. Most investors will. You'll see why they all have, a line of a stock. Okay, well, they'll invest money in the stock market. You'll see where there will be investors in startup businesses or what have you. This is what an investor does. They're always thinking of ways to make money. You'll see why investors will, have a leg in real estate. That's what an investor does. And they sit back and they just let the money work for them. That's where we all should be striving to be, all of us. But you can't get there, you guys. You cannot get there unless you are successful as an employee, as being self-employed, or a business owner. If I were you, I would be striving right now where I am to start making my way up the chain, okay? Wherever you are, say if you're an employee now, then say, you know what? I want to start getting myself in position to be self-employed. And then I want to train my people. I want to train my staff. I want to start business credit. So now I can be a business owner and I can start duplicating that. Okay. Literally this week, coming up tomorrow, I will sign papers for my next business. I've been trying to, get that business in order for years, and it is finally manifesting. If you follow me on social media, stay tuned. I am going to drop that one. And I am in negotiations now for actually buying a business, not just for me, but for my children too. So I can't talk about that one yet because we're still in negotiations. But right now, we're looking at closing that one in July as well. So now that business will actually be the seed to help my children begin to now manifest their own businesses. Okay. So once you start, it just keeps happening over and over and over again because you get the formula down pat and you just begin to repeat the formula. All right. And so we want this for all of you all, but I want to end with this because I don't want this to be too long, but I want to end with this. What happens if you don't invest, right? Or what happens if you invest very poorly? You invest in an area where you can't make money. There are certain things that can happen to us. There are certain things that, we would have to experience in life. So one of them is that, first of all, you'll work all your life. You'll work all your life, literally. You'll work until your 60s and your 70s, and you have to ask yourself, do you want to work all of your life? I mean, all of your life, having to go in as an employee and clock in somewhere, or do you want to do this your entire life and then wait for, retirement 25, 30 years down the line? Now, I'm going to say it again. Some people are happy where they are. And if you're happy, roll with it. But still take your money and still open a business, invest, right? Don't just sit with that, because if you ever want to leave, you want to have that power to leave, because that's what I did when I was an employee. I positioned myself, because I was doing teaching and real estate at the same time. And I positioned myself to say, if they ever popped off with some foolishness, of which they did, I wanted to be the person to be in position to say the heck with you. And that's of which I did. Okay. And I'm telling you, it literally dropped just like that. So you have to always be in control. And I'm so happy that early on, I positioned myself to take control of my life, and say, I could do anything I want to do when I want to do it. And I did. Now, so remember, the first thing is, you have to ask yourself, do you want to work in that place that you're in for that employer all of your life? Okay. Do you want to be an employee all of your life? You got to ask yourself that. And then the next thing is, generally when you are an employee, sometimes you worry about money. And you'll find that stress is always with those who are employees. They worry a lot for money. They're always living paycheck to paycheck. I need that check. Can I borrow $50 until I get paid? Can I borrow $100? My car payment is due. I'm short this month because I had to get medicine for the baby. Whatever it is, employees always worry about money. Sometimes self-employed people worry about money, especially if they don't have business credit, because you know why? They're always using their money. They have to use their personal money to fund their business. You should never use your personal money to fund a business, ever, 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 ever. Use other people's money, okay? Always use other people's money. And then the next thing is, if you don't invest or if you don't invest properly, you'll always depend on someone or something to take care of you. If you don't have money, right, to handle your life when you become a senior citizen, you'll have to depend on someone or something to take care of. When I'm talking about something, I'm talking about the government assistance. Okay? I'm talking about the government needing to take care of you. You'll have to depend on that because you haven't positioned yourself to be prepared for those latter years. So that's why it's important that you set yourself up now to say, you know what? If something were to happen to me when I become a senior citizen, I got enough money. I can have somebody to rub my back, change my clothes, feed me, and do everything else. This is what you want. Or your children will be in position to have that freedom to do whatever they need to do to take care of you. And they can be present because they don't have to worry about going into a job. They can take care of mom and dad when they're senior citizen. Already right now, my mom is, she's good. She'll be 80 years old this year, but listen, she act like she's 50. But already, her and I both are preparing. We both are preparing for when that day comes. It's not if that day comes. It's when that day comes. My mother may be in the position where she may need me to take care of her. Okay? And so right now, we literally just came up. I've been going back and forth with this forever, but I have decided I'm going to build a home where I can bring her in to live in that home. And she has a home now, but I'm going to build one to the point that she can, have everything that she needs right there, from a step-in bath, bathtub, to everything that's going to be accessible to her and will be easy for her. Make sure she doesn't have to pull any steps or anything like that. And so we are preparing now. You have to prepare. But if I was not a business owner and an investor, I would never have been in a position to be able to do what I'm doing. Okay? Another thing is, when you don't invest right or you invest poorly, your life always has boundaries. What does that mean? You may go on vacation and you might have to get a shrimp dinner, and you really wanted that steak dinner because you really couldn't afford to spend that amount, or you really wanted to stay in that hotel, but you have to choose this hotel because you have boundaries. You can't financially handle that. Or you wanted to take 3 trips this year and you can only take 1 because your life has a boundary. You can only do but so much, okay, off of what you're making. This is what happens. You got to position your life so you don't have boundaries. No boundaries. And how do you do that? You got to get yourself in order. You got to decide, how long do I want to stay where I am, and what plan do I have to move from point A to point B? And this is so important. And the thing about it is that, if you don't invest right or you invest poorly, you'll really never know what true freedom is. And I said this to you earlier. That's why people in the beginning, they were so confused. They always said, did she move to Florida? I mean, they couldn't understand in their mind. And I have to repeat it over and over again. I do not live in Florida. This is just where I work. This is one of my offices. So I've literally traveled back and forth to everywhere. Okay. I use a plane like a taxi. But people couldn't understand that because they were thinking about my life in the life of their lens, right? On how they saw their life. So I'm telling you now, for those that are listening to me, if you sat through this and you listened to this and you're an employee, let's move from being employed now to being self-employed. And then once you get into the space of being self-employed, where your paperwork is in order, where you're ready to start your business credit, now let's get that business credit in order to the point that we move now to getting you to be a business owner, right? And you start to use those funds to be a leader and train your staff and your people now to work for you and work for you when you're not there. And then we can take some of those funds and teach you how to invest. So invest in where your money's working for you and opening up more businesses and, and getting stock and buying real estate and all of that. And this is something I can help you with, all of it. Okay. So if you're ready to get started, and I forgot to tell you guys, give me a thumbs up. If you're on TikTok, give a thumbs up. Well, I don't know what you're doing, TikTok, Instagram, everybody, give a thumbs up, share it if you would, please, please, please. I'm going to put everything in the description, but I want you to contact me at 727-433-8327, or on all social media you can get me, and you even see that the website is there, IamDrSherry.com. However you want to get me, you can get me, and I can help you with all of it, whether it's buying a home, selling a home. You all know I do real estate. Real estate is how I started. Now I help people with their personal credit. Business credit is huge. Oh my goodness, there's so much money out there that I just wish I could just position so many people just to get it. But really, people don't believe. They don't understand how to do it, and they won't contact you to do it. Okay? But it's so much money out there. You need to go get it. Okay? And we're here to help you and show you how to get it. All right, you guys, that is it. Thank you so much again. Let's go ahead and do our outro for YouTube and Facebook, and we will see you next week. Don't know what the topic's going to be, but you know it's going to be something good. Okay. Until next time. Bye-bye.